a dog.
I want to know about the EP. I want to
What is
know
there to
everything
know?
there is to
What do you
know
want to
about it.
know?
It's
When
gonna
did
be
you
so
guys?
bad.
When did you guys start recording? How long has?
Oh
Well,
shit!
I guess
Yeah.
if you
I'm gonna
if-
tap out for a minute and eat this donut.
okay, if you
Mhm.
well, if you count since we started recording Shoes, it must have been August, September last year, but we haven't been recording super consistently. So I'd say overall it probably took us about a month to record this.
Really?
Yep.
Just
in,
a month.
in total, like of maybe even less, like a couple weeks. If you like stacked all the days that we worked on
What-
it in a row, it
was
would
it-
probably be a week or two
Was it like?
or a month.
Because you had all the songs written out like when you started recording. I mean, I think so. Except for like, is
Oh yeah.
Flowers? That's on the EP.
Nope.
No.
Honestly,
Flowers is gonna be on our next EP, but this half of the EP we had completely written out before Justin was even part of the band. But the other half of it, we had the lyrics written. That's actually not even true. We had the ideas of songs, and we really got them refined and structured.
yeah. Honestly, I think the main time consumer that we had when we were recording was adding parts that we don't usually do live, considering that we're only 3 people.
What kind of stuff? Because I mean, I've listened to I have listened to Shoes a lot. I do like that song.
Thank you.
Besides stuff like I mean, no, because even vocal doubling, you guys do that live. Because there's some of that like backup vocals, and then
Yeah.
there's is there any like what? Let's just talk about Shoes, and we'll go on to the rest of the
Okay.
album. I mean, it would be cool, but like for Shoes, like what is something on that song in particular that you guys did that's different from like when you guys normally play it live?
Well, we re-recorded the vocals recently, and also, it's not every time we play it live that we have background vocals and harmonies, but on the recorded track, there's a lower harmony and a higher harmony on it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas some gigs we have only one microphone, so we're not able to always pull off those harmonies live.
So the version of Shoes that you're gonna release on the EP is a different version.
Yeah,
Slightly,
it's a
yeah.
different vocal take, and the vocals are louder.
Yeah.
And
So
I think the kick is mixed louder too.
Okay.
I think so.
Do you think people would even notice a difference if?
I think if they've
Yes.
heard it a lot, especially I don't know, like
There's
the
some-
first few seconds of Shoes are like, I feel like
Neat.
yeah, you hear it so much
Some people
because of like the
some people-
internet.
and some people have said
Yeah.
things about Shoes and how the vocals are mixed really low.
Yeah, I think the new mix of Shoes
I-
is gonna be good. It's gonna
Yeah.
be
I'm
weird
excited.
having Shoes. I hope that's not the one people listen to the most. So it's
People-
just Shoes, and then Shoes, and then
Yeah.
whatever else.
People are gonna listen to Boost Cruise the most. I think. I mean,
I
it's a
think
fan
I
favorite for a
think
reason.
there's one song that's gonna be exactly in the middle of the album that has this one part.
That we cannot
gonna be-
we cannot talk about.
we
but
can't
it-
talk about.
We have this
but
little- we have
it's
this
going
little-
to be
this little
awesome.
interlude that is on the album that we're all really excited about. That
We just
That's
put a little.
It's a surprise.
We
Yeah.
put a little
Put a little
surprise.
surprise in there.
it's called Mary.
Well, I didn't ask anyway. So,
Don't
anyways,
Shut.
Sweet
Who?
Boosters.
Shut up.
Boost Cruise. I mean, I remember when you first wrote that song and you were playing around with the riff. Who came up with the riff? It was the
Which
original.
riff?
Bam, banana.
Yeah, I remember hearing that original one, and then like the week later, it was at a show. Like the first time you played it at a show, and it was so great. But that's a live song. I mean, when you talk about
Yeah.
a live song where you just jam out with the band, that's the kind of song that tests what kind of chemistry does the band have, how in sync are they on stage, and you guys do it because you do it different every time. Of course, you follow certain cues, but you're able to read each other's energy and really just hone in on that when you go live. I mean, everybody can see, but especially like feel that. Do you think there's going to be something lost in translation between that raw in the moment energy of Boost Cruise and then having that be on the album?
I think with the recording, it's a lot more ballady. On the track, it's a little bit slower than we usually play it live. We went pretty hard into getting a lot of layers onto that track.
Yeah.
Because
A lot of there's also on the recorded track a lot of layers of guitar, rhythm guitar leads, and vocal layers.
I just listened to a song
Can
like
I,
that
can I
live.
shout out Tristan?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brooks.
Oh, Tristan Brooks.
in case
The-
you guys don't know, Tristan is your guys' what's the official title? Producer.
Producer. He
Yeah.
produced the EP,
Yeah.
recorded,
Recorded,
mixed,
Recorded,
mastered.
Yeah,
And he did-
Tristan's the shit. Tristan's
did Shoes
fucking
as well.
awesome.
Yes,
Yes.
he recorded Shoes and.
So if you
produced
guys at home,
Yeah.
this is gonna come out on Wednesday, and the album comes out Thursday,
it. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming if you watch this, you might have the access to the album. But if you're listening, Tristan is the guy. Shout out to him, who recorded it all for them. Shoes is already out, and he recorded that as well and mastered
Yeah,
it.
dude.
Mixed and mastered.
There's
that.
also a secret.
But for real, like
yeah.
Tristan let me do whatever the fuck I wanted. For
Yeah.
my
And
guitar
also
stuff. Like I just got to do a
Gave
bunch
lot
of weird
really,
shit. So
Gave a lot of really cool input, like
oh yeah.
doing
Oh,
solos,
yeah.
like feedback noises, and also auxiliary percussion parts, as well as these little sound effects. And he played organ on one of our songs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a secret
really?
organ
Yeah.
track.
So that's one of the things that you guys are saying, like just having fun, like.
Tristan's,
was it-
Tristan's the fourth
Was it like one of
Rickety
those things
cliff,
where
the
like
secret,
you recorded the
secret
songs
cliff.
like the way you do the drums, you do the bass, you do the guitar, you add maybe another guitar part to the vocals, and then it's like let's do some funky stuff, and then like
Yeah.
you pull out the harmonica and
Yeah.
whatever.
We're trying
Yeah.
to compensate for that lack of the live energy with adding a lot more to those tracks.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing, because when you have a recorded track, you sacrifice that the energy, the je ne sais quoi, like that you can't really get
For me, I brought up
anywhere else.
Booze Cruise because I'm gonna ask you guys a question, and to me, in my mind, I would assume it's Booze Cruise, but which song do you think is gonna be the most like unrecognizable from how its live counterpart is?
Different eyes.
Yeah, Different Eyes.
Different Eyes recorded and Different Eyes
Especially
live are very different.
The way we
songs.
played it last night felt so energetic and so fast, like paced. And the track we have coming out on the EP for Different Eyes, I think we're all really happy with.
Oh,
It
yeah.
might be
It's
one
slower.
of my favorite
I'm
tracks.
guessing it's slower.
It is all
Slower-
the
slower than we did
tracks,
last
all the
night.
tracks,
All the tracks on
We
the album. It's still
everything
got a pace.
every time a band plays something live, it's faster than on the track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like by slower, we don't mean like it's like mellow.
It's slow. It's just how we should
It's
be
just
playing
a
it.
little
it's
bit
got a-
more like understandable.
It's got
I
a
guess.
medium pace to it.
Yeah.
And then
A medium pace.
yeah, I mean, I'm curious to hear that. I'm really curious about Booze Cruise though, because I remember when, I had some experience recording songs, stuff like ending jams and cues like that and build up, especially stuff like in a cello rondo at the end that you do with the solo. That's just stuff like that is just. It's easier and harder, but it's so good to do in the moment. Like, I just think it's something hard to replicate on recording because you can't really fake it, and you guys are
This
recording in
guy.
different rooms. So how did you
Yeah.
do it? Did you have like a metronome programmed with like an cello rondo in it, or did they
No,
just
so
let you
at-
off the
yeah,
leash?
At there was a couple times because we do a couple different time changes.
You
on
usually
a lot of
don't
tracks.
have cats on
Yeah.
leashes.
Yeah, especially big ones.
Mhm.
No, but like for most of the songs we would have a click on, but we would tell Tristan when to turn it off.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
yeah.
record with a click very
Just
much
record-
because
Wait,
I
I
ended
was
up
the
recording
only
live.
one
Well,
that
typically,
recorded with a click.
Shoes and
only
Different
drums
Eyes.
and bass would need a click.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Shoes and Different Eyes were recorded with a click. The other two songs, Bending Blues and Booze Cruise, were done free ranged.
And the recording, this isn't live recording. It's all you guys are in different like little rooms,
We
probably like this.
I think
we
the
have a
first-
scratch recording.
What is that?
Yeah, we'll
Like,
do like
we did it all
room
together
recording for,
first
like,
to
a
get the drum take.
scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we would call them like demo recordings. Do like
Okay,
a live
yeah.
demo, and then you would listen to that, play the drums to it, and then
Mhm.
maybe Reese would listen to that, and then play bass to it, and then that gives like a good like foundation for like.
Yeah, that's
Justin
pretty
to
much what
play
happened.
Guitar
Yeah.
too.
Also,
Not
like
too
there was a
shabby.
lot of like one of us would be recording, the other one, or like one of us would be like just there, like
Kinda
playing
planning our-
along,
yeah.
just
Yeah.
to kind of like keep
Get a
a
feel
like
for
feel
it.
for it.
And also, since it's so different from the way we do it live, it's a lot more streamlined.
We kind of went into it like kind of being like we're not gonna be able to get it to sound like how we do it live.
Yeah, and
so
you can
let's just
thi-
make
you
it
can-
sound really cool.
You can think about your part a lot more and kind of have a very clear picture of what you're going to do and what everything's going to sound like.
Yeah.
I have another question. I know since you said you recorded the album in a month, but I'm assuming that's like a month cumulative time over like the past few months that you guys have
Yeah.
been, playing shows, then maybe making time to
Yeah.
come into the studio.
6
You
months,
guys,
maybe.
you guys have had, I'm getting off top of my track
okay.
in my head, but for one thing, gear change. Like I mentioned, you changed guitars and you changed amps,
Pedals.
pedals as well. Did
Yeah.
doing that? Did you have to backtrack at all, or did you change how you approach songs? How was that like? Did you? Because I is the shoes like that's recorded on the old amplifier, and then now you have this new one, or did you use a different amplifier completely that was provided by Tristan?
Actually, none of the songs on the album or the EP are recorded on the Epiphone I play live.
Really?
Yeah, they were all done with like
With the crate?
no, they were actually done with just like amps that Tristan had. I think there was
Oh, okay.
one where I brought my
Heads.
like head
There's
in.
a lot of head.
So how was it? I mean,
Yeah,
because
whole lot of head.
does it sound similar to what you're used to, or are you able to just plug in your pedals and it's kind of just the same?
Well, it's not. It's never about the gear. It's all in the fingers. The tone
Yeah, the
Yeah.
tones in the fingers.
and the guitar.
Tones of the fingers.
But
But I don't know. I had time to like sit and like fuck around with things, and also like Tristan did have like a lot of like good input. You know,
Mhm.
like
It's not his first rodeo.
it's not his first rodeo. It might.
It was my first rodeo.
It was my first rodeo,
okay, well,
but yeah,
What?
I used my pedals and everything. I think I did shoes with the like head, but I didn't have it running through like the body or anything.
And you know what you did shoes with?
and you
I
used
don't. I forgot.
you used your
What?
Ampeg.
Yep. The thing is, we did. Me, Lynch, and Mulder would record together scratch tracks. Or me and Justin would be playing scratch tracks while Justin would be recording his actual drum parts.
Mhm.
And I would just tell Tristan to delete my track. How he would plug in my
Damn.
amp. He would plug in my amp in another room, crank it. I would EQ my settings, and then I would just play along to the drum track and try to get it as synced up as possible.
And a little off topic, but you mentioned there's some songs that you had to translate into like almost like a recording version of the song, and then there's like a live version.
Not necessarily.
Not in the sense like small things.
Beatles.
Small things like what Justin was saying. They're slowing down, and then to compensate for that, adding some things like Justin was saying.
Yeah, like the Beatles
it's
would.
not even
Could you
necessarily
possibly
because it was slowed
imagine?
down or because it was different than it is live, but
Mm.
it's also just like what we could put in to make these tracks entertaining to listen to as like not only as musicians but as like enjoyers of these songs. Like, of course, when you're listening to something on headphones or in a car, you're not going to be able to like feel it. You're not going to be able to like feel the band like you can live, feel the energy of the crowd and everything. But
Yeah.
we just tried our best to make it fun to listen to.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as someone who has played stuff live and then tried to like record those same songs, I sometimes get block of like, I don't understand what's going on. We're playing the songs the same tempo, the same speed, the same equipment, and we're recording it and we put it together, and for some reason it just doesn't feel or sound like when we play it live. It just sounds 1,000%
Yeah.
worse, but then live it sounds good. Did you encounter that at all recording this? Because I feel like you got to know that feeling of just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. Oh, totally. Because
I think a big part of it is like you kind of have to realize like as you recording it, like especially like because you wrote it, you're never gonna think you're never gonna have like an unskewed view of like how it sounds,
Yeah.
but
Like-
it's crazy. Like there's like you can narrow down every variable. It's like we're using the same gear, we're playing the same tempo, we're doing the same structured song. What is different? And it's like,
and that's kind of what I feel like making things different lends itself to is
Yeah.
it makes it different. It makes it very tangibly and noticeably different. Like these extra guitar layers, harmonies that might not be there, and
Yeah.
different lengths of different parts, like the bridge on Booze Cruise or the tempo at the end, like you were mentioning earlier,
Mhm.
that you kind of just did
Yeah.
what you did without a click very naturally, and yeah, it's different. You don't speed up as much. We don't all speed up as much as we do live, but
Yeah.
when we're playing it live, when we're rehearsing it, it's a different energy, and we kind of always know where we're going to end up and where we're going to be. It's a
Yeah.
bit shorter than the way we do it live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of our process, like I said, was adding things. Right?
Yeah, like we kind of went into this with a
Yeah.
mindset of like we want to make these songs different because we're not going to
Yeah.
be able to make them sound like
as good
as
as we
do
just do it
them
the same.
live if we do them the
Yeah.
same. You know,
Yeah,
there are
a lot of
guitar
harmonies.
parts that don't actually like happen live
Yeah.
that are on the album.
Most
that-
of the
but that-
harmonies that we do now, like the vocal harmonies that we do live, actually came from studio sessions where we were like, we need to add more to this song.
Yeah, like we need like another like thing happening.
Because same
Yeah.
with the same
We
with
need
like
to
the
drown
guitar
out.
the guitar parts in the background, like the little chords you do, particularly on the bridge, add so much color to the track.
Oh yeah, I like that bridge.
Yeah, the bridge for
tension-
Booze
and
Cruise
tension, too.
live is really cool the way we do it, but like on the recording, it definitely needed like a couple more
Yeah, it's just different, but it's like
things.